What's up guys, this is Dave from Crux Merch Burst. We'll be showing you today how to apply our pre-cut window chrome delete on this 2025 Nissan Kicks. This is a dry application wrap film, so you'll be doing the installation completely dry. Some things before you get started: you are going to need a heat gun, a vinyl tuck tool, and a squeegee for this installation. We have those all available on our website as well as this product if you're interested. Link is in the video description below. Before you install, you want to make sure the area of that vehicle is cleaned. Right prior to installation, I recommend wiping it down with a microfiber with a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Once that dries off, you can fully go on. I'm going to be showing you the gloss block film that's going to primarily match your painted B and C pillars. And for this rearmost piece, we're going to start here just because this is the hardest to do. Sort of want to align it at the very top. Just work your way towards the back of the vehicle. Not pulling on the film, because if you do pull it, you will stretch it. Just keep that in mind. So once you have that initial alignment done, you can go ahead and start to work the material down. And now you're going to want to hit that heat gun on the edges. Squeegee might come in handy here as well. And you will have a little bit that will transition onto that rubber gasket. That's fine. It's not a big deal. Just make sure that front and the back are real tucked down good. And then you do want to go over this again with a little bit more heat. Just make sure you got everything worked out. While we're here, I'm going to just switch to this front door. The rear door. And all of these will be marked out on your installation sheet as well, as far as like which overlays go in which position. So on this one, we're going to start in the front here. Covering that black plastic. Then you're just going to work to the rear. I like to go every inch or two and just touch the material down. It is also a pressure sensitive material, so if you do need to realign it, you could go ahead and do so. But if you work this entire material down as you're going, when you pull it back up to do that realignment, you're going to have to stretch the film. That's basics of it. Now you could go ahead and work down the face of the film. And now I'm using that squeegee tuck tool just to get that film in that lower gasket. It's sort of a little difficult to get started, but once you do, it's pretty straightforward. Just basically pushing the gasket down, and then pushing the film down as well. You'll be able to tell when you're doing it in person if you need to, get it down from the top as well. Sometimes on the positioning of this tool, you can do it all in one swipe. Other times you do need to go back over it again just to push it down a little bit more. So once you have that worked down, you can go ahead and do this top section. That I'm just sort of rolling over this material towards the inside of the vehicle. Then on this one, you do have that gasket up there. If you go ahead and sort of roll that gasket back, I guess is the easiest way to describe it. The film will go ahead and tuck underneath that gasket, so you won't see any of this upper chrome if you happen to be very tall and look at your doors from above. Probably wouldn't see it normally, but now you really won't see it. So on this one, I do have that little bit left over at the very end. I probably had to stretch this a little bit while I was applying it. But if you end up with this little extra tail, if you just take a knife, sort of put it right up against that plastic where the plastic ends, and just cut that tail off. You can go back over it and put it completely down, but you might end up with a little bit too much material there to do that. And on this, you just want to get both ends good. And then again, you'd want to go over the entire film with that heat source again, just to make sure everything is situated. I'm going to move you to the front door now. So on the front door, it does have that little notch in it to follow at the very, very front. If you do want to, you could also cut these individual pieces out from the material prior to installation. Just unroll it, and I'd let it sit overnight just to let it flatten out a little bit more. But if you do want to cut each strip off, it does make it a little bit easier when you're doing this, just because you have a less likelihood of picking up any dirt that you might have missed on the vehicle. So with this one having this slight curve, I'm going to keep just a little bit of tension on this as I go. Again, going and pushing down every probably like inch or so, just to make sure my alignment is correct. So once you do have that in place to where you want to, you go ahead and just start to press down the material again. I don't necessarily like using a squeegee for this step just because you can catch the material and sort of drag it, and then you're just left with a mess at that point. So if you sort of tap on the material like you're walking over it with your fingertips, that is the best method that I have found for getting it positioned where it needs to be. So again, just like the back door, we're going to run this squeegee in this gap of the window molding here. Then at the very front side, you can go ahead and tuck that under as well. Then the same thing on the top here. You could go ahead and start to work that material underneath that upper gasket on the vehicle. On this front, you might end up with a little bit extra material up top here, just because of how that window is set up. So if you do run into that issue, if you just put the tuck tool behind and sort of press it up a little bit, and then that will allow you to tuck it correctly. I wasn't able to do that all the way down. But as far as the installation, that is pretty much it. You also want to, if you end up with a little bit of material at the end here, same thing. Just take your razor and trim off that edge. You will want to hit this corner with the heat gun too, just like the back. And as far as waiting to wash the vehicle or whatnot, you could do that right away. There's no need to wait. Like I said, this is a dry application film. This is a gloss black. Trying to give you a better idea of the whole look of it. Gloss black film. If you are interested in this, like I said, the link is in the video description below. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Our phone number and email address are listed on the website. So thanks for watching, and if you like I said, have any other questions, just let us know.